What's up, Encounter family? We are starting the Gospel of John this week in our Bible reading. If you're not joining us for Encountering the Word or you got off track, that's okay. Jump back in with us for the next 4 weeks. We're going to be reading the Gospel of John as well as our Old Testament reading. It's going to be powerful. But I'm excited for us to read the Gospel of John because John is probably my favorite biblical author, because he thinks always in terms of images and concepts. And John's always trying to tell us, who is this man Jesus really? What is his divine identity? And the way he tells us in the gospel is through what's called Jesus's I am statements, where he says, I am the bread of life. I am the good shepherd. I am the vine. But also through these images, everything that Jesus does in the Gospel of John is symbolic about his identity and who he really is. You know, in chapter 1, it talks about Jesus being the Word of the Father. In chapter 3, he's the one who turns the water of the old covenant into the wine of the new covenant. In chapter 6, he's the bread of life, right? He says, I am the bread of life. He's showing that he's the source of true life, just like bread is our daily sustenance. In chapter 9, he's the one who opens the eyes of the blind, right? He's the one who takes away our spiritual blindness so that we can see. In chapter 10, he says, I am the good shepherd. Right? He's talking about how he is the one who cares for the people of God, just the same way the Old Testament leaders are often called shepherds. They were supposed to care for them. Jesus is the one who cares for us. In chapter 11, Jesus is the resurrection and the life, right? He raises Lazarus from the dead. He's the one who brings resurrection. In chapter 15, Jesus is the true vine. He is the vine from which we draw the source of our life. So there is so much beautiful imagery for us to meditate on in the gospel, and I would just want to draw your attention to that. Every time we encounter another image that John uses, we get an opportunity to meditate on the majesty of who our Lord Jesus is. The fullness of life and of divinity is found in him, and I think you're going to encounter him as we read the gospel.